One of the great moments in the NFL before a Vikings home game. The Skol chant and the sounding of the Yowler horn. First time that the Vikings are playing a home game in a month after Kevin O'Connell's team went 1-1 in Europe. Nick Sirianni's team has lost back-to-back games for the first time in quite some time. Minnesota won the toss and deferred. It'll be Will Shipley on the kickoff return for the Eagles. And he'll get hit shy of the 25-yard line as we go down to the field and Pam Oliver.
Hey, Adam, important injury information for both teams today. First of all, for the Vikings, they get a couple of important offensive linemen back, including right tackle Brian O'Neill. Also, on defense, they are psyched to have Blake Cashman back in the fold. He had a knee injury, but he does return. Well, the desperate need for a pass rush, the Eagles get help from Jalen Carter, who returns from a heel injury, and the left side of the Eagles' offensive line is now intact.
Landon Dickerson. He is back and blocking right away, Pam, for Saquon Barkley, who's trying to get going after rocky start to the season. But he gets 8 yards on the first play of the day, and Jalen Hurts will go to work. Didn't play poorly by any means, hasn't turned the ball over very much at all this year, but coming off those back-to-back losses.
Yeah, and in the last couple weeks, due to some of the inefficiencies and the struggles of this run game, we've seen Philadelphia really shift to more of a pass-heavy offense. I think they got to get back middle of the road, nice first down run there. This is a lot more what we're used to seeing, these second and medium, second and short.
So a couple of Barkley runs, and they pick up a first down on the ground to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, so you look at their entire formula, right? It's very clear with Nick Sirianni as the head coach in Philadelphia. Who does this Philadelphia Eagles team want to be? They want to be a running team. They want to be explosive on the outside with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith in the passing game, but so much of these early down struggles have fueled more of that second and pass, third and pass, and that's not who they want to be. I like getting Jalen Hurts under center like he is here.
And they toss it to Barkley, so the first 3 plays, similar to what we saw against the Giants 10 days ago. They're trying to get Barkley active early.
They can really treat this as 2nd and 5, and on the other side, 3rd down is where Brian Flores' defense comes to life. All of these guys up front rushing the passer, but can you also fit the run?
They load the line, they rush just 4. Hurts gets rid of it fast, and a lunging effort to try to pick up the first down by Devontae Smith. It looks to be about a yard short, but this is what Philadelphia wanted to set up. This is where the tush-push, the sneak, the short yardage plays come into play.
Yeah, across the league, 3rd and 5 is traditionally a passing down, and typically the quarterback throws the ball beyond the sticks, but over the last 3 years, throwing the ball short of the sticks. The run game, of course, sets up one of the most unstoppable plays in the league right now.
Look at Hurts' career numbers. They've been excellent in these spots. There is the push. Let's see where they spot this ball. Officials were lined up at the 46, running straight up. And it is a first down for Philadelphia on the tush push.
Well, Brian Flores said he had something in store. Take a look here, right over Juergens, the center. They're holding him from being offsides, but the nose tackle is sideways. Brian Flores said, hey, wait till we got a little something in store here. Fascinating conversation about how that play and their ability to convert is baked into everything they do and everything they are as an offense.
Sticking with it on the ground. This is Tank Bigsby, the former Jacksonville Jaguar, who's got his first touch with the Philadelphia Eagles on offense, and it's a good one. He takes it for a first down to the 43 of Minnesota.
Yeah, not a surprise. Running behind probably the premier right tackle in all of football, Lane Johnson. He's been banged up here and there. Mentioned Landon Dickerson.
3rd and long.
Yeah, and listen, the reality is this is not a Jalen Hurts thing. This is not a Philadelphia Eagles thing. There are very few, if any, offenses in the league that are built and designed to operate in 3rd and long over long periods of time. It's just a very unfriendly down in the league, especially against the Brian Flores defense that's going to have very elaborate pressures again here on third down.
Look at all the shifting by the Minnesota defense. Barkley's going to run it on 3rd and long, and they'll get inside the 40. That ball is loose, but they're going to be whistled down by contact. It was grabbed by Javon Hargrave, the former Eagle, but Barkley is down, and it sets up 4th down in plus territory inside the 40.
Yeah, I like the play call. We'll take a look here. Clearly down, the right elbow down by contact of Harrison Smith. And again, I really like the play call. You know, we kind of circled all those Vikings defenders up at the line of scrimmage. They're very contrary to the rest of the league. They work from the line of scrimmage back. It does make them a little susceptible to the ground game, and now at least makes this a 4th and go here for Nick Sirianni early.
Eight back in coverage this time for Minnesota. Hurts pointing, throwing, trying to find a loose man. It's A.J. Brown. He's in. Touchdown Eagles on the opening drive.
All right, we talked about this Eagles offense getting back to who they've been. This drive embodies it about as well as you can imagine. Metellus, he's kind of a hybrid safety linebacker. That is not a great matchup on A.J. Brown for Minnesota, and it starts with that protection. Great job by Lane Johnson on the edge, and when he has that much time to look into scramble drill, Metellus just has no shot to stay with a player as good as A.J. Brown.
Vikings dropped 8 back that time, and A.J. Brown found a loose alley down the sideline. They needed 4 on 4th and 4. They got a 37-yard strike from Hurts to A.J. Brown for his 51st career touchdown through the air. Brown's back. The Eagles are in front, and Philly's feeling good. That looked more like a Philadelphia drive that you're accustomed to seeing, where they can beat you up a little bit methodically with the run game. 8 runs on that drive. It was their longest drive time in a season and a half. They used the run game very effectively and had a couple of 4th down conversions, including the touchdown to A.J. Brown. Miles Price, the rookie out of Indiana, is back to return. Dirty kick, and that lands in the landing zone out of the back of the end zone, so the touchback out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, so really good play design. So you're going to see Minnesota, they align all 3 of their cornerbacks, and you'll see Isaiah Rodgers. He's right there in the back. Right there. So they got Okudah, Rodgers, and Murphy, all 3 corners to one side. Now when they motion A.J. Brown over, Isaiah Rodgers goes with them, but then he ends up defending Goddard, which leaves Metellus on A.J. Brown. And with the pass protection they had, that's just way too much time to expect Metellus to stay with Brown.
So from the 20 is where Carson Wentz, the former Philadelphia Eagle, starts this drive. Jordan Mason is the back. It is Mason on 1st down, spinning ahead for a few yards. Zach Bond on the stop. So Carson Wentz got a chance to talk with him the other day, and he was very much wise beyond just being a guy in his early 30s. He's seen a lot over the last 6 seasons. Doesn't feel any ill will towards his time in Philadelphia. It's enough time removed. Only a few guys are left from his time here. Of course, Jalen Hurts replaced him as the starting quarterback 5 years ago in Philadelphia. They've played pretty well so far in the 3 starts he's had, 2-1. Jordan Addison in motion. Wentz slings it out. Hawkinson bobbles it, can't control it. Had the coverage of the rookie Jahad Campbell there. That brings up 3rd down. 3rd down and short. Mitchell's an important piece to this because the opposite corner of Mitchell, it's been kind of an uneven revolving door, whether it's Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo. It's a lot more pressure on Mitchell, who was great last year, but now you're the #1 by far corner on this Philadelphia defense.
Yeah, and last year he just played right and left. You know, Darius Slay, he's no longer here. They just played right and left, played sides. Now, Quinyon Mitchell, he is really shadowing in that run through the playoffs alone, Adam. They had 13 takeaways, 16 sacks. So, I mean, their ability to get after the quarterback, their ability to take the ball away two elements that have not been as good here through the first 6 weeks of the season.
Only 5 takeaways. That's below league average so far for Philadelphia's defense. Vikings have been very sharp in the red zone so far this year. Wentz, the rollout, floats it to the corner for Addison and overshot it. Second down. Cooper DeJean, second-year man now for the Philadelphia defense, had the coverage on Addison. This offense a little bit better than league average. League average right now is 23 a game, which is actually a pretty higher pace than we saw a year ago. Scoring's been up in the first month and a half of the season. Quick screen to the outside. That was an off-target throw by Wentz, and you can see his disappointment there as he was looking for Addison. And interesting to bring Kelee Ringo that time from Vic Fangio's defense.
Tell you what, Wentz makes a better throw. That might be a touchdown. So it was the designed run out of the huddle. It was supposed to be a handoff. See Vic Fangio, the longtime defensive play caller in this league, now the defensive coordinator the last couple seasons in Philadelphia. He's able to put that ball in the face mask of Jordan Addison. I think he walks in for a touchdown on that alert tag off that run play.
Right read, wrong throw.
Yeah.
Oh, bad snap. Over the head of Wentz. That's a live ball, and Wentz will rescue it back there. It was being chased down by Azeez Ojulari, and Wentz had to go rescue that ball back near the 45-yard line. So now a field goal even becomes a greater question for Minnesota.
Yeah, just, again, it's hard to snap the ball over a 6'5" quarterback, but Blake Brandel, the center in there, just it looked like it was a little early and high. And just think those last two, you go from having a wide open receiver, at least a first down, if not a touchdown for Minnesota, and then on the ensuing third down, bad snap, and now you got a 59-yard field goal.
Fox Super 6 NFL Challenge. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a shot to win your share of $10,000 in cash prizes. See the Fox Sports app for details. 2-yarder, a Minnesota record against Cincinnati earlier this year as well. It's becoming more and more commonplace. Will Shipley from the 2-yard line will return it. Trying to speed through that alley. See all those Minnesota bodies near the line trying to stop Barkley, who gets a few yards out of that first down carry. So they're getting Barkley heavily involved on these first couple of plays. You see him trying to communicate with Hurts and the rest of this offense. Barkley has not had a game of 100 scrimmage yards, not just rushing yards, 100 scrimmage yards. So we know him as such a great pass catcher as well out of the backfield. We just haven't seen the consistency so far. He's had 7 touches today. After a gain of 4, an extra body coming for Minnesota, as is typical on first and second down. A quick throw to Smith sets up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, nice job that time by Jalen Hurts. The rule of thumb is when you get pressured, you want to throw into the pressure. And all year, no team has faced more blitz than Jalen Hurts in this Philadelphia offense, and he's actually been very good when facing it.
Four-man rush. Hurts lofts it up there. Braden Mann will boot it away. 47-yard punt and a fair catch from the rookie Miles Price. Minnesota ball on the other side for Carson Wentz. Second round pick in 2020 was used in like these wingback situations, some wildcat stuff. But about 3/4 of the way through the season, Carson Wentz gets benched. Jalen Hurts makes his first start against the Packers, started the final 4 games of that season, and then it was off to the races to eventually becoming the Super Bowl MVP last year. That'll take us to the end of this opening quarter. Eagles strike on the opening drive with a touchdown to A.J. Brown. Minnesota answers with a field goal. We'll go to the second quarter in a 7-3 game in Minneapolis. Wentz starts the second with a toss play for Jordan Mason, and a solid hole as Nakobe Dean comes over and makes the stop. A little bit of a shuffle at the linebacker spot the last couple of weeks for Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's worth noting, rookie, I think Jahad Campbell is one of the best rookie defenders in the entire league. Definitely in the conversation here early about whether, be defensive rookie of the year. Obviously a long way to go, but worth noting, they're having some issues on the edge, a lot of injuries. Zadarius Smith just abruptly retired. They're using Campbell as an edge player. You see him right here, number 30 on the near side. He did a lot of that in college earlier in his career.
Wonder what Brandon Graham is thinking right now as he watches this game. There is another run for Mason. Not much there. It'll be third down coming up. So is Carissa Thompson. CT.
Thank you, Adam. Chiefs looking to go over 500 for the first time this season. Rashee Rice, in his first game back since suspension, finds the end zone. Chiefs leading this one 7-0 over the Raiders. Adam.
And KC in the midst of a pretty tough NFC West right now. Chargers have played well. Denver, they're both 4-2 coming in action today. Chiefs have worked themselves back to 500 after those first two losses, including one to these Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch. Third down and 5 for Wentz. Motion Addison. Blitz coming. Wentz hit as he throws, picked off. Intercepted. There goes Jalix Hunt. House call Philadelphia. His first NFL pick leads to his first touchdown.
This time it's Vic Fangio doing his best impersonation of Brian Flores. They had an all-up pressure. They moved Jahad Campbell. Jalix Hunt, he started on the line of scrimmage, and then they bailed back. What a great design. You see, they got 6 up front. They bring Zach Bond, and they just drop right underneath that inside slant. And with the guy in his face, Carson Wentz just doesn't see him.
Guess who it was? Jalen Carter. Welcome back to the front line for Philly after missing last game with a heel injury. One of the key returning pieces for Philadelphia that Pam Oliver told us about right at the top of the show. Carter with an impact play on Wentz, leading to the pick 6 for Hunt. Carter and Hunt teaming up. Big time hit by Carter. Wentz a little shell shocked as he throws the pick 6, and the Eagles defense comes up big. Takeaways at times have been hard to come by for Philadelphia. That's their 4th pick. 3 of the picks have come from non-defensive backs, including that Jalix Hunt pick. But Jalen Carter's impact cannot be overstated as he makes the type of play that forces the errant throw.
Well, we said coming on to the broadcast, the 2 things this defense did so well on their way to the Super Bowl: rush the quarterback and take the ball away. They got them both in one play.
This is Ty Felton, another rookie on that dirty kick. He'll take it to the 26, Greg.
Yeah, so go back and take a look at what Carson Wentz sees. So they move Jahad Campbell. He's where the number 5 dot is. There's only one off-ball backer. So to Carson Wentz, he thinks, all right, verse pressure here. I've got Justin Jefferson on an inside move. But because Jalix Hunt started on the line of scrimmage, and he's got a 330-pound defensive tackle, Jalen Carter, in his face, he never sees Hunt drop off the line. He drops right underneath that little inside slant route, and he probably knew it the second he threw it.
So back to work goes Carson Wentz. C.J. Ham, his 2nd game of the year. He's the fullback. The veteran is back in this lineup now. He blocks for Jordan Mason. Trying to get to the outside. Decent cut, but 3 flags come flying in from all different directions.
Yeah, you're going to get Josh Oliver.
Holding. Officer number 84. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You know it's a bad hold when all 3 officials throw the flag at the exact same time.
They're all coming in.
Oliver, you can see him right here on the right side of the screen. He's one of the best blocking tight ends in the entire league. Just Patrick Johnson there, 48, just grabs him by the back of his jersey. And when you do that as the end man on the line, like Oliver was, that's how 3 different officials see the hold, and they all 3 simultaneously throw their flag.
And 2 teams that have been penalized at a top 10 rate in the league, both of these clubs. And this particular penalty sends it back to first down and 19 for Minnesota. Wentz, that might have been a backwards pass, so they're going to lose yardage on this.
Definitely a backwards pass.
Looking for Mason on the release. So he looked around. There was nothing downfield. Mason was his release as a screen pass, and Wentz threw it backwards for a loss of yardage.
Yeah, you wanted to see, he started looking down here at Justin Jefferson, matched up one-on-one. Quinyon Mitchell does a nice job taking away the inside slant, and then Carson Wentz just tries to go to his outlet, and the timing's just off and ends up throwing that ball backwards. This is a nightmare of a drive right now. I mean, right now, Kevin O'Connell's got to call a play that's an easy completion, try to get some space and just add this yardage to the ensuing punt. Unless they turn this around drastically in the next 2 downs.
So Wentz is rolling out, looking downfield, launches a ball, dangerous pass, intercepted. Picked off by Andrew Makuba, who's the only defensive back for Philadelphia that has a pick. That's his 2nd of his NFL career. And the Minnesota fans are getting a little bit restless as their team has returned stateside and has turned it over twice in this first half. Not a great play by Carson Wentz. And an easy one for the rookie 2nd-round pick out of Texas, Makuba. Philly is in business. And Minnesota is in danger in this first half. A tough last handful of snaps for the Minnesota offense and Carson Wentz, who's throwing a pick 6 and then another pick, and now he's throwing the tablet away as well, as he and his former Philadelphia backup Josh McCown look at what Wentz was looking at. Pick 6, hold, backwards pass out of bounds, another interception. Those were the last 4 Minnesota offensive snaps. Jalen Hurts on the rollout, flips it out, and a short gain by Dallas Goedert for 2.
Yeah, so here's what they're trying to do. They motion down Hawkinson. They're trying to get him lost, and it's going to be sprint out, and they're going to try to get him out the back door for a little throwback. Great job. Again, we've mentioned Jahad Campbell, the young rookie. He sniffs it out. Carson doesn't have that, so instead of just throwing it out of bounds, checking it down, he made what was a bad drive worse. And again, you can make an argument it's just an arm punt, but you still had 3rd down to get some more yardage, and he's got to just settle down and make better decisions.
Hurts swings it out.
As always, she does a great job.
Well, Braden Mann will boot this one away. And it's going to head to the end zone. So net punt of just 33 yards. It's been a rough last handful of snaps for Minnesota's offense, and Carson Wentz has taken some punishment. You can see maybe it's physically getting to him a little bit. He's taken a couple of hard hits already. Minnesota ball. Number 10 pick J.J. McCarthy last year missed his rookie season due to a knee injury. Started the opener at Chicago on Monday night. Had that great comeback win. Saw the birth of his child later that week. Has not had a lot of practice time in the last 5 weeks at all. Injured his ankle in his 2nd start against Atlanta. That was part of the reason that Kevin O'Connell didn't want to push J.J. McCarthy up against the reigning Super Bowl champions when he hasn't really had a chance to practice much in the last month plus. So Carson Wentz gets his 4th straight start today. It's been a rocky last.
Have been tough.
Carson Wentz has taken some punishment too. Here's Xavier Scott, not much there. Right back at the line of scrimmage he goes as big body Jordan Davis and Zach Bond are there. It was Jalix Hunt on the previous pass that got a nice hit from the backside on Wentz too. So 2 timeouts used by O'Connell, 1 on the lost challenge, a 2nd here. Trying to clean things up. Sharper on this drive than we've seen in the previous couple.
Yeah, so this was the opening drive of the game. He misses Addison in the flat, then the bad snap, and then of course the Very next drive, the pick six. Then he forces this one on 2nd and a mile.
Well, he's got 2nd down and 1 with Minnesota on the doorstep. Switch Jefferson to the top side. Mason's the back.
He's got one-on-one with Jefferson at the top.
Looking that way. Justin Jefferson couldn't haul it in. Had he done so, that would have been a spectacular play. Cooper DeJean, the Iowa native with plenty of fans here in Minnesota, pumped that ball out of the way.
That's a really good ball. 9 out of 10 times, Justin Jefferson comes down with it. They teach defensive backs, continue to fight through the hands all the way to the ground. Justin kind of takes that left hand off the ball to palm it, and it's just enough for DeJean to knock that ball loose.
3rd and 1. Another pass play. Wentz, too tall for Jalen Naylor. And Wentz, you can tell he's frustrated with some of the throws. They've been off target. Kevin O'Connell pretty aggressive in this portion of the field.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. I mean, the way this game has started, field goals are not going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little surprised. I like the 3rd and 1. It was actually a run. I'm sorry, the 2nd and 1 was a run call he threw to Justin Jefferson. I like that approach. I thought on 3rd down there, knowing it's 4 down, you maybe put that ball on the ground and get a fresh set of downs.
Fake it to Mason. Flag is thrown. Ball is thrown. It is caught. It is a touchdown for Naylor. We'll check the penalty flag, though, and this is coming back for a hold.
I think they're going to get...
Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Yeah, Brandel, he kind of snatches him. You're going to see he gets bull rushed, and he just snatches him to the ground. Watch, you can see him right here. Watch, he grabs the outside of his shoulder pads and just kind of chops him to the ground. Flag came out quick. That's just a huge missed opportunity. You have 2nd and 1 at the 6-yard line. You go Justin Jefferson. I'm going to call it a drop for a guy as good as him. Incomplete. And then a penalty that now forces them to bring out the field goal unit.
Blake Brandel, who had never started at center until their last outing. Today, his 2nd career start with some of the injuries. A crucial mistake by Brandel. Minnesota feels pretty good about what Blake Brandel has done at center so far, but he's had a tough snap, and then this tough holding penalty against him essentially cost Minnesota 4 points on that possession.
And some of the Vikings offensive linemen were defending it. They were talking to the officials, but it was just grabbed. So to be clear, you can knock the guy's hands down, you can chop him onto his face. You can't pull him down to the ground on his chest.
Xavier Gipson on the return. They went with the sideline kick that time. He gets it past the league average mark of the 30. We'll check that penalty marker on the near side of the field.
I think maybe one of the Vikings coverage players might have moved before the ball was caught. You see the officials now talking it through.
Could add 5 yards to the end of the return here.
Illegal formation, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And so that'll be pretty decent field position for Philly. Well, big noon is coming your way on Saturday, and this is a big one. Indiana, number 3 in the country for the first time in program history. Curt Cignetti just got a big extension. Take on a UCLA team that's had some really fun games over the last couple of weeks. Jerry Neuheisel's been doing a good job on the offense. Big noon kickoff, 10 a.m. Eastern, live from Bloomington, then UCLA, Indiana on Fox.
Eagles offense with this offensive line.
So they do run it on 1st down and 20, and Barkley gets a chunk of that yardage back. It'll be 2nd and long. Say hello to Kristen Thompson again, CT.
Thank you, Adam. Bears looking for their 4th straight win. DeAndre Swift takes a handoff, makes a nice cut, and takes this one in for an 11-yard score. Bears in front 13-0 over the Saints. Adam.
And he's coming in on a blitz. Hurts flips it. Goddard. It's been 148 games since Minnesota had a punt return touchdown. That was Marcus Sherrill's 9 years ago. Price will have a shot from the 25 here. Not a whole lot of room, but we'll get past the 30. So we'll be right back after this message from Progressive.
Okay, so hold on. We want 3 double chickens and fries. Sorry, 3 cheeseburgers with mayo. No mayo.
Don't forget my strawberry milkshake.
So hold on. So we want 4 chickens with fries. No, sorry, 3 burgers. Trubisky, you're in.
Mitch Trubisky, backup orderer.
If only there were backups in real life.
Combo 3, no mayo. Combo 3.
But at least there's Progressive to protect your home and auto.
And 1 strawberry shake.
Please drive forward. Guys, should we trade Danny?
Ha ha, very funny.
There's Carson Wentz, so far 2 picks. League average passer rating is in the low 90s. He's under 50 right now, but much sharper on the last drive. It stalled inside the 10, but 1 timeout plus the 2-minute warning and 4 minutes and 20 seconds for this first half.
Yeah, and I think he needs to operate where he is here. Under center, activate some of this run action on 1st and 2nd down.
They start with a run. It'll be Mason. Not a whole lot of room there, and you see the big body of Jordan Davis. He's had big impacts this season. You guys saw that great play he made at the end of the Rams-Eagles game, the blocked field goal to seal the deal. That 2 special teams touchdowns and the pick 6 today for Philadelphia so far this season.
And that's the strength of this unit, especially with some of the edge issues that they're having, injuries, retirements. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, the 2 big guys in the middle. I'm staying away from them. If I'm Minnesota, I'm out on the edge, getting the ball in space. Do not let their 2 best players control the game.
Fake to Mason. Inside they go to Hawkinson. He gets tripped up trying to find an alley. And it's going to be 3rd down and long here. See a little bit of tempo here from Carson Wentz and the Vikings.
Yeah, trying to keep Philadelphia from getting their 3rd down unit of pass rushers on the field. You see a lot of teams, they call it the Jordan package, 2nd to 3rd down, 2 to 3. And
this looks maybe like zone here because Mitchell did not stick with Jefferson. Wentz under pressure, just shovels it ahead. It was grabbed by Xavier Scott, and he stumbles his way in front of Zach Pawn for a couple of yards. Oh boy. It'll be 2nd down on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Whew, we have seen some interesting things in this first 28-minute stretch, my man. We're at the 2-minute warning of this first half. A Philadelphia lead of 8 with some of the defense frustrating the play caller O'Connell. $1 billion stadium, U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis, where the Eagles won their first Super Bowl 52 with Nick Foles, the MVP, the year that Carson Wentz got hurt. They've only played in this building now for a 3rd time. Carson Wentz still has 1 timeout. Clock stops when you step out now inside of 2 minutes of the first half. Pumps, throws underneath. It is caught by Hawkinson, hit by Nakobe Dean. Now it's 3rd down. Remember, Philly has all 3 of its timeouts too.
Yeah, so this is a critical kind of final minute 50 left of this half. I think if I'm Minnesota, I'm going to let as much of this clock bleed off as I can, because in the event you have to give this ball back to Philadelphia, you don't want them to have enough time with those 3 remaining timeouts to go down and steal points before the half. If you're Minnesota, it's been a little bit of a disappointing offensive first half, but you get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. In an ideal world, you'd love to have back-to-back possessions here.
Need 4 to convert. Hawkinson in motion. Wentz pumps, holding on to the ball for a really long time. Still pumping, trying to maneuver, stops, throws, nobody there. Bunch of time came off the clock, still 66 seconds, but Philadelphia still has all 3 of its timeouts. And Minnesota's going to have to punt this ball away.
Yeah, just a really nice job on the back end. Double teaming Justin Jefferson. Quinyon Mitchell plays underneath. Reed Blankenship plays over the top. See DeJean there working in the slot. Just a really nice job. Nowhere for Carson Wentz to go, and he takes a big shot there by Jalen Carter. We feel like we've said that now a few times here in the first half.
So Ryan Wright will boot it away. Jahan Dotson will see it sail out of bounds. Not a good punt from Wright. Well, let's see what's coming up at halftime. Our friend Kurt Menefee is coming up. What's up, Kurt?
Coming up on the Verizon halftime, the Rams plant their flag in London, and the Chiefs offense gets its biggest playmaker back. We'll have the highlights, plus Terry, Howie, Michael, and Gronk are ready to break down the biggest moments of your half. We'll see you then.
Thanks so very much, Kurt. Minute to play, still 3 timeouts for Philadelphia, which has just 8 net yards since the opening drive.
Yeah, and I think if I'm Philadelphia, I'd love to put Jalen Hurts in a little bit of a 2-minute up-tempo. You have 3 timeouts, a drive starter here, something short, something easy. Get that first down and then go into 2-minute drive mode. But sometimes tempo and a little urgency can do wonders for a struggling passing game. I want to see them play this with a little aggressiveness here and try to go steal some points before the halftime break.
They need about 45 yards or so to get into field goal range for Jake Elliott. Being indoors helps that distance as well. So Hurts underneath, they get a completion. Clock moves, Devontae Smith on the grab. Well, a 75-yard, 12-play, 8-minute drive to begin the day. And they have not been able to get much traction. Remember, they have a defensive touchdown today. Hurts, comeback route, and Devontae Smith right back to work near the 40. Byron Murphy is there for the stop. 34 seconds left, and Nick Sirianni will use a timeout here. The clock stopped.
Yeah, I saw Sirianni signal timeout.
I thought he wanted the timeout. Hurts thought he was going to take one.
He did. He signaled. He's on the field. He's yelling, saying, I called timeout.
Philadelphia.
So now the question is, how much time, if any, ran off the clock after the officials granted Sirianni the timeout? We can take a look.
So I almost thought they stopped the clock almost in anticipation of Sirianni calling the timeout.
We've had a lot of controversy around the football landscape about signaling timeouts versus clapping. I think that was pretty clear that Sirianni wanted a timeout.
And that was the ideal time to get it. You get a first down, you get a little further down the field. Clock is on the top side of a half minute. You still have 2 left. You're probably saving one of those for Jake Elliott if you end up having to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, and tell you what, so far today, Jalen Hurts has been perfect. He's 5 for 5 when facing the blitz in the drop back passing game. So they continue to bring pressure. They brought it 11 times and done pretty well.
He's 9 of 10 overall today.
I'm sorry, they brought it 7 times out of 11 dropbacks.
Down the middle. Let's take a look at the didn't settle top performer. It's brought to you by State Farm. Up until that last play, very solid first half for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought the initial drive using 4th down to their advantage. They convert both times. Obviously the second one for the touchdown to A.J. Brown. But then in between that and now, it's been sluggish. So get back into halftime break, regroup, come back out a little bit more aggressive to start the 3rd quarter.
Minnesota ball in the 3rd. Kurt Menefee in L.A. for the Verizon halftime. Boys.
Welcome to the Verizon Halftime, the NFL, powered by Verizon 5G.
Well, that late touchdown by Carolina, the difference as we welcome you to the Verizon Halftime. Let's check in on some other games here in Week 7.
I love me some highlights. Eagles at the Vikings. That's Carson Wentz. Come on out there, Carson. Let's get it going, young man. Looking. Takes a huge hit. Oh, my God. Jalix Hunt right. Takes it in from 42 yards out. Carson threw it right to him, but he had no choice. He got decked on that play. 14-6 Eagles on top of the Vikings at the half. Saints are at the Bears. That's Caleb Williams as the Bears are riding a 3-game winning streak. DeAndre Smith. Swift.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I know. Swift. Straight up the middle, 11-yard touchdown. 20-7 all Bears over the Saints. Then let's go Raiders at the Chiefs with the great rivalries in all of the NFL. Rashid Rice, the great wide receiver, is back after a 6-game suspension. Patrick Holmes, the little shuffle pass to Rice for a 2-yard score. 7-0. It's the Chiefs. And then back at the goal line, 2 yards out or 3 yards. Mahomes then to Rice again. The back shoulder throw, nice adjustment. All Kansas City, 21-0 over arch rival Las Vegas Raiders. Mike McCoy, interim head coach of the Tennessee Titans, and for Brian Callahan, who was fired. Drake May Quarterback for New England going deep for Boutte. Nice throw, beautiful throw. 39-yard touchdown, 17-13 New England. On top of Tennessee at the half, and the Dolphins at the Cleveland Browns. Dylan Gabriel, folks, I like this kid. If they stay with him and put some people around him, I like him a lot. Quinshawn Judkins, what's not to like about him? A lot of speed, read the hole well, cut back to the left. It took it to the house 46 yards later. 17-6 now, and the shocker maybe? Cleveland 17-6 over Miami. And then earlier this morning while I was getting in my 10K, my powerlifting with Howie, we saw Puka Nacua, the great wide receiver of the Rams, out with an ankle injury. Matthew Stafford with 5 touchdown passes. Devontae Adams had 3 touchdown receiving off of only 5 receptions. All Rams 35-7. Ooh, that's a long ride back. Isn't that sweet?